All right, good evening. My name is Steve Grable with KLJ on behalf of Pennington County, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, and the South Dakota DOT. I'd like to welcome you to this public input meeting for the County Master Transportation Plan. The primary reason for this public meeting is really just to start off the process by getting input. Any ideas you have, things that are of a concern. The whole issues identification starts with anything we hear from the public, because you drive these roads. You know where there's issues. Certainly, this presentation is going to talk, we're going to go over our schedule. We've started with a baseline conditions analysis, looking at a lot of the conditions that are out there today. Going to talk a little bit about the vision, goals, and strategies that this plan should address. And then we just want to open it up to any input you want to provide for what issues you see. And then we're going to talk about, where do we go from here? So we started this process of developing a new master transportation plan the end of March. And so we've just gotten started with some of our analysis efforts. We're very early in the process. This is the first opportunity for public input. This plan is multimodal. So when you think of a master transportation plan, it's not just roads, but it's all modes of travel, whether it's walking, biking, transit. We'll take a look at all of those different types of uses. As you can see from the schedule, we're working with a study advisory team that's made up of county staff, county officials, as well as people from the planning department. So some of the things that we're seeing from our current analysis, taking a look at population, is that the county's growing, and that's having a significant impact on your transportation system. More traffic means more trucks, a lot of heavy wear and tear, especially on your gravel roads, but on your paved roads as well. And Pennington County already carries a lot of traffic. It's near Rapid City as an urban center. It's the second highest populated county in the state. So Pennington, as a county within the state of South Dakota, has some unique challenges, primarily because of the population and the traffic, and it's certainly growing. We've all heard of the planned expansion for Ellsworth Air Base. So that's another thing that we want to take into consideration as we look at the future for Pennington County. This plan is looks at a 20-year horizon. One reason for that is that's generally roughly what you consider an asphalt road to last before it needs significant improvements. So we're not just looking at historical growth, but we are also going to be taking a look at what does this mean for your future. So we have a fairly extensive road system. Let's see. We are not going to be looking at the U.S. highways and the interstate. So I wanted to make that clear. This is really a study of county roads. Now, if we do hear issues relating to those systems within the county, we'll certainly take that back to our technical team. Same with township roads. If there's any township roads that are affected, we want to hear about that, because that is something that also affects your county system. Functional class, we generally look at your collector and arterial system. These are the roads that carry the heaviest volumes of traffic in the county. And So all of these colored lines, the purple are looking at your major collectors. The county has 385 miles of rural major collector in the county. That's a lot of busy roads to maintain. Urban minor arterials, 13 miles. Those are the green lines you're seeing. And then the yellow lines are a lower class of collector, a minor collector, and there's roughly 20 miles of those roads. We've started to pull together some of the traffic count information. The county keeps track of how much traffic is on their roads. In addition, as part of this study, the county asked us to do some additional traffic counts. We do have a board up front, so this is hard to see from a distance. So if you want to take a closer look at where the traffic is in the county, I'd encourage you to look at one of the boards after the presentation. I think the big point here with traffic volume, again, more traffic means that you need a beefier road system, and you also need to have a lot of more increased maintenance to take care of your roads. Some of the highest average daily traffic on the county road system, primarily in the vicinity of Rapid City. There's high volumes on Twilight Drive, Sheridan Lake Road, among others. Truck traffic, with the counts that we're doing as part of this study, we're going to get a handle on truck traffic in some of the county roads. For the most part, the truck traffic in the region is tracked by the South Dakota Department of Transportation. So we're using some of that information to try and bolster what we know about truck travel within the county. Road surface type, the county currently maintains over 300 miles of paved road. Those are shown with the darkest lines. And then almost all of the rest of the system is gravel. Almost 500 miles of gravel roads are maintained, gravel county roads. And those are the tan lines. Almost all of the roads within the county are 2-lane roads. There are a few miles of 3 and 4 lane, but the vast majority of roads in the county are 2 lanes. What we're going to likely find with this study is, for the most part, that serves the county very well. We may find some specific locations where we need to consider turn lanes, shoulder improvements, and those sorts of things. Safety is an important element of a master transportation plan. So we do take a look at safety statistics, how many crashes have occurred in the last 5 years. Looking at the last 5 years, we're seeing that things have been fairly stable, no real clear trend, maybe a slight downward trend, but still, as we look at safety, what we're hoping is that as the county improves more roads, safety can be improved. This map shows where the highest density of crashes are occurring. No real surprises here. Most of the crashes are occurring in the Rapid City area or along your state and U.S. highways. We also look at fatal and serious injury crashes. These tend to be much more site-specific. And again, where we see more than one or a multiple incapacitating or fatal injury crashes, we take a closer look at those locations as part of the study. As far as the high-frequency crash intersections, these also get a lot of attention from us. We'll want to take a closer look as to why that might be happening. What we've done so far is we've just identified the top 10 high-frequency crash intersections within the county. I won't read all of these off individually, but there is one common denominator here, and that is that all 10 of these, I believe, are relatively close to Rapid City. We take a look at why some of these crashes are occurring. Within the county, there's a fairly high number that are related to impaired driving. 13.2% of the 147 crashes during the study period, which is a little higher than what we would expect. So again, being aware of why these crashes are occurring. One reason why impaired driving is such a concern with any jurisdiction is because these tend to be very serious crashes. 5 of 12 fatal crashes in the county were due to impaired driving. Similarly, roughly a third of the incapacitating injury crashes were due to impaired driving. There are also typically in county road systems a lot of wild animal crashes. This is something that a lot of times we can do something about as we look at trying to have good visibility in your road cross sections, and certainly Pennington County is no different. We're seeing roughly 13% of the crashes were wild animal related. And as a state, South Dakota is in the top 4 in the nation as far as wild animal crashes. Most of these crashes occur in the October to December timeline. That's a time when you're seeing, deer breeding, a lot of more movement of animals in the fall. And so that's the reason why you're seeing that chart like that. Again, a lot of the wild animal crashes are on some of your busier corridors, Nemo Road, Sheridan Road. And it's interesting to look at those because those are some of the corridors that the county has been looking at making improvements on as we try and flatten out some of the ditch slopes, dealing with some of the sharp curvatures. Those safety improvements can improve visibility to reduce the wild animal crashes. We also look at traffic operations. Where do we have traffic congestion? And the county has asked us to take a more deep look at 15 intersections in the county. This is the list of intersections. So we've just started to take a look at these 15 intersections. We'll be giving the county a very detailed report about, is this a sufficient traffic control? Is two-way stops good? Should it be signalized? Are there other issues such as a lack of turn lanes that could improve traffic operations at these intersections? Again, I mentioned that this is a multimodal plan, so we will be asking the public through various methods, what are your needs? Are there greater needs for the other modes of travel? I'm going to take a few minutes just to talk about vision, goals, and strategies. It's important to have a vision for your transportation system. We are just in the very beginning of talking to the technical staff in the county about what that vision is. What are our goals, and then what are our strategies for meeting those goals? So as a start, we will be talking with the county about a vision that says that Pennington County will develop a transportation system that incorporates high network connectivity, supports commerce, and provides efficient, safe, and dependable mobility for people and goods. The transportation system will be a driving force for the county's growth and prosperity. supporting livable and vibrant communities that serve existing residents while creating an attractive environment for investment, tourism, and new residents. So as far as the goals and strategies, this we took from the South Dakota DOT has a list of goals. So as a starting point, we're using the South Dakota DOT goals and strategies. And just to summarize, there's 6 goals. One is safety. The second one is system preservation. The third one is mobility, reliability, and accessibility. The fourth one is economic vitality. 5 is environmental sustainability. And 6 is innovative transportation technologies. And we believe all of these goals, they make sense for the state and they would also make sense for Pennington County. So this is the part of the meeting that I'd like to kind of open it up for any discussion that you want as a group. You know, the big question tonight is what transportation needs exist in Pennington County? I've got some example things that we could talk about. If there's, you know, what are some important steps the county can take to improve their system? Is travel to and from certain locations difficult because of road conditions or capacity? What routes could be added to make travel easier? And what routes could be improved? Does bike and pedestrian travel feel convenient and safe? How about UTV travel? And then do current transit services meet your needs? These are just some thought-provoking questions, but you may have some things on your mind. So I'll just open it up. Is there any questions or discussion points for anyone here tonight?
I'd say that UTV travel is not in everybody's best interest as far as safety. Running up and down Highway 44 here. Trying not to run at too high of speeds for what they're
coming back from Norman on Highway 34, like left of intersection, getting up to speed. Here comes this side by side one. Yeah, barely reaching by. Far from it, I pulled my camper, so I had to slow down or.
Yeah.
Any license?
One of the things we're going to take a look at is, you know, what is on the forest system, these forest system trails. If we can show that on some of these maps, so we get a better sense for where those problem intersections or even just problem county corridors where you're going to have a kind of already know where there's a boatload of UTV travel, but it might just add some light as to maybe some county road facilities, maybe it would influence what we choose to do in the future. I don't know.
well, a big problem with that is the Forest Service trails for county roads.
Have to drive on the state or county road.
So the comment was made that the Forest Service trail system is incomplete, and this leads to a lot more of the UTV travel on the county road system, which wasn't necessarily designed to be shared between cars and UTVs. Good point. Any other issues for the good of the meeting tonight that you'd like to bring up? Okay. Well, there are a lot of ways that you can get involved. There will be more meetings towards the time when we have a draft report. But in the interim, we do have a web page that is shown here. There's also a copy of the website, I believe, on the comment sheet. So if you want to take those with you, but within the website, there's the opportunity to actually click on a county map, and you can drag any of these icons into a location on the county map and make a comment. And for example, if it's related to safety, you can drag the safety icon, which is that red one at the end, over, and you can drag it to a specific spot in Pennington County and say, there's a safety issue here. And then you can also add a comment as to what that issue is. So the website is a valuable resource to provide additional input. Also, as we start developing some interim deliverables for the report, some of the technical findings, we intend to post those on the website. So feel free to check in from time to time and see if there's something there. Or if you talk to someone and want to put in a comment, please do. Next steps. We're going to continue with our analysis. Again, we're still fairly early in the process. Over the next 6-8 months, we'll be meeting with a technical advisory team multiple times. We'll be developing some more of our analysis. And then our expectation is to come up with a draft report before the end of the year. That will be made public, and we'll have ads in the paper saying that the draft report is available, as well as highlighting the next public meeting tentatively scheduled for January of next year. Any questions before? Also, after the meeting, if you want to come up and talk to us about the boards or whatever's on your mind, we'll be staying around until you get your questions answered. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.